And benvenuti, fellas and bellas all over the world. Welcome to another episode of the Napoli Rant. I am Raf Biz, joined by my co-host, the Vicar of Subies of Rafa Rispo.
What's up, Raf Bizzarro? Come stai oggi? It's been a little while since we talked.
Yeah, right. We had a little week off from the international break, but we are back, and what a great day to be back after a victory against Hellas Verona. So hello to you. Hello to everybody in the chat, as well as our audio listeners. Let's get this rant on the road. But before we do, the Napoli Rant is brought to you in part by Tifosi Napoli Club New Jersey.
Yes.
Pause. Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah.
All right, good. It's working. It's working.
There it is. Yes, we want to thank our friends at Tifosi Napoli Club New Jersey, and want to say hi to everybody, all the clubs all over the place. It's it's good to support them, and they support us, and contact us to find out how you can support us as well.
Right. Check out all their socials. Scrolling down in the bottom of the screen, guys. Let's look. Antonio Arcamone, first one. Let's get started, baby. What's up, boys?
What's up, Antonio? How's it going,
Antonio
buddy?
Artisan, Forza Napoli, Italian Funk, new to the Discord as well, and a big fan of the show now. What's going on? What's the status? Status is we are here.
And Surreal Artisan is new too, yeah?
Okay. ADL shut it down. He ain't shutting this down, bro. He ain't shutting down this train, right, Rafa?
Nah, he's not shutting this train down, man. Mike Rinaldi. What's up, brother? How you guys doing? Hey, it's good to see all these names in the rant today. How's everybody doing?
Anthony F. ranting into the void.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I like this one. Rui is back, baby. We're back. I never want to see all of
I saw a very interesting statistic on Mario Rui as well. So we'll bring it up when we move on. But
Christopher Estrada and his
an OG of the rant. How's it going, my man?
Trenner Cowdery, how's it going, Ralph and Ralph? How are you, Trenner? Welcome.
How you doing, Trenner?
Man, live. I like this. This is great. We're seeing some new names in the
names. Yeah.
New watcher, but long time listener on Spotify.
There we go. Good stuff, my man. Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's working.
See, the audio comes in handy, man. And I'm telling you, don't rough and drive. You can't be watching these shows while you're driving. You're in the car, go to the audio. You're at the office, put the YouTube on. It's not that big a deal.
Guys, but here we are. Let's talk about the aftermath. Napoli defeat Hellas Verona away on the road 3-1. A bit of controversy with the fans, as always. I mean, this is what's expected, but either way, the boys came out swinging. We win the game. We'll talk about the beast of the match right after this. But Rafa, I mean, and I want to go out to the chat because I want to get everybody's feeling on this game. I want to get into everybody's head about, what they thought about the performance. I thought it was a decent performance. Maybe it could have been better. Rafa, who is your hero this game? Anybody stand out to you? With the exception of who we chose as Beast, but we spoke about a name. We spoke about a name earlier when we were speaking. Do you want to start there maybe? And talk about that guy? And everybody in the chat, who is your standout guy this game and why? And let's talk about that a little bit because I want to get to know.
Ralph, I'll tell you right now, there's a few names that came to mind. I mean, you and I only talked about two for Beast, but I do have to, I'd be remiss to not mention names like Kvaratskhelia, Politano, Cayuste, Meret. These guys have really stepped it up. Raspadori, in the absence of Victor Osimhen, and we'll get to that.
Right.
But for this game, I thought the guys really played well. It was a good first half. I think Verona played a better second half. Not saying that we didn't play a good second half. But I think the players, came together and knew what to do. Natan was good. Rahmani and Natan together. That was nice to see. It was all right. Listen, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt for being the first time that they played together. Rahmani just back from injury. Natan and Rahmani haven't played together yet, so let's against a very much less than Hellas Verona team. I think they did the job all right. I mean, it definitely Meta faced a lot of shots, and that was something that needs to be cleaned up a little bit. But goalkeepers are going to face shots every now and then. The thing is we're lucky that it was Verona, who are not having a great season so far. So but again, I think everybody was surprised to see Raspadori start over Simeone. I think people were waiting to see that. Politano has just been an absolute revelation. What is Spalletti doing, not calling this guy up for the national team? I don't know. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. You had a guy like Spalletti who played Politano over Lozano. He pretty much preferred Politano over Lozano, for during his tenure, and now he's just not getting called up on the national team. He takes El Shaarawy, in the wake of Chiesa or whoever it was that had to get
Right.
sent home or being injured, right? And or Zaniolo. So it just didn't make a lot of sense to me because he's having Politano's having a fantastic season. What a setup for that third goal, Kvaratskhelia goal, unbelievable. Raspadori, getting the job done for that first goal to Politano, goal and assist. From Politano, Kvaratskhelia, 2 goals. The midfield was looking all right. Cayuste, for me, was so I guess what I'm getting at is the name that I wanted to mention was Jens Cayuste. He absolutely killed it for me, in my opinion. One of his best games. The best game he's played in the Napoli shirt.
Sure.
Got won balls, got forward, got more forward than Anguissa gets.
Right.
Looked like he was about to, he looked like a threat to goal. He looked like an added piece, And I'm very impressed with Cayuste and his accepting his role on the bench, coming in when he needs to, and getting the job done. Except for that first game, which you and I saw,
right. But
together.
that's like good luck for a Napoli team, right?
I know. You have to have a stinker before you get in.
Like,
yeah,
really,
exactly. Well, despite except for Anguissa, because Anguissa's the one
came out
that
beasted that month.
he came out beast against Juventus.
He beasted
So
it. He beasted it.
honestly,
And it really sucks that we have to see Cayuste now that Anguissa is injured. Like that upsets me a little bit. And even like the whole Natan and Ostigar, that pairing.
I was going to mention that.
It's unfortunate that we have to see these guys when everybody gets injured. Why can't they just be in a natural rotation and use them to use them wisely? We have this depth. Use it. I say this all the time, Rafa.
Well, and with Rui Garcia, and speaking of Natan, his I guess his excuse, or an excuse that was made up on Rui Garcia's behalf for Natan, was he didn't speak the language. He didn't speak English or Italian, so he would have problems communicating with the team.
Yeah.
Even though Mario Rui is Portuguese and can speak to him.
But Mario Rui doesn't play, so then they're not going to
exactly. But you get what I'm saying, right?
No, I know what you mean.
I feel like those are excuses, and they might have a valid point when it comes to those things, but just put them on the field. Football is a universal language, and it's something that I realized in some Saturday's game. You know what I mean?
Right.
Football is a universal language. Everybody that knows how to play football will be able to play. If you've got
at that
quality,
level for a reason.
yeah,
Right?
exactly. You've got that kind of quality, you're gonna get by. So, I think it's a shame that we didn't see Natan earlier, and I think it's a shame that we only saw Cayuste for one half for the first game, just because Anguissa was injured. And listen, Anguissa signed a long-term deal. He's there. He's here to stay for at least a couple more seasons.
Right.
I get that. That's fine. But, don't let it be just because of injury. I think there needs to be a little more rotation with this team when it comes to Rui Garcia. It does. There does. 100%.
I like everybody's thought about that rotation guy. I want to know about this because I ask all the time. I ask Matteo Bonetti, I need to know what your thought is. Are you the super 11 type, or it's like, hey, rotate? I want to know. I want to pick your brains. Do we rotate How do you see your rotation? Is it
Mhm.
something, is it like based on the team that we're playing? Is it based on how many games we have that week? Because me
Right.
personally, you got 25 guys on a squad. It's 25, right? Guys on a squad, including the goalies and all that. How do you use them? If you're a coach, how would you use your team? How would you make it all work?
Right.
Despite the tactics. I mean, I don't want to get into like formations because we always throw out these different numbered formations. I want to know, how do you use your team, and is it good to allow guys to rest? Do you start them over others? Do you give them half a game? Do you, I don't know, give them only 20 minutes? What's your guys'
Yeah.
thought about it? I want to know, but I want to read one comment, Rafa, real quick because I think this is important.
Do it.
I've been calling for this guy. Um, but Italian Punk, here we are. Just claimed new blue membership in Discord. Congratulations. Raspa as a false nine could be huge for Napoli, Italian Punk says. Garcia sees him as a pure nine, but Raspa as a full nine could really unlock something for us. I just don't know if Garcia knows what a false nine is.
Well, when you look at the games that Osimhen missed last season, Napoli barely. I don't think Napoli lost in the game that Osimhen was sitting out. And why is that? Because when you don't have an Osimhen on the field, you don't have that one focus, that one focal point, right? Um, Teams are going to double team Kvaratskhelia and maybe leave Osimhen open, but they might double team Kvara and highly cover
Mhm,
Osimhen and concentrate on only them. Without Osimhen on the field, they're going to double team Kvaratskhelia, but they have Raspadori open, they have Politano open, Cayuse is pulling up forward. Like I said, Zielinski's always a threat. Now you have more of a threat. Um, when it comes to Napoli, it kind of opens up the play a little bit more. I think they play, and listen, Osimhen is legendary status at Napoli. I think, he's a catalyst for our Scudetto last season. He's a mainstay of this team. He's very much important player in our squad. And I think teams would be, lucky to have a guy like Osimhen, a player like Osimhen who works so hard all the time, who
mhm,
never gives up on a ball. And there's so many qualities that I can say about Osimhen that, that'll, shoot him to the moon. But when there is no Osimhen on the pitch, when Osimhen is injured, it happens all the time when he goes away to Nigeria, what have you. When that happens, it's not like we are done and dusted, season over. Like
mhm.
I've seen some people post, like Osimhen's injured till November, season's over. That might
Nah,
not be
far
the
from it.
case. I mean, we beat so
Yeah,
many good teams last season without Victor Osimhen,
yeah,
Milan being
yeah.
one of them,
We
and
killed it in
and
Champions League. I mean, he
we
was
killed it
barely
in
in
the
that group
Champions League.
stage.
Yeah, man.
Barely.
We have the
Barely in the
quality of players. We have Simeone. We have Raspadori. We have players. Now we have Lindstrom. We have players that can help. I was really upset to not see Elmas, and then I learned that he may have picked up a slight injury on international as well.
Who,
So
who's that?
Elmas.
Mm,
But we'll
yeah.
have Elmas when he's available. Hopefully, Garcia decides to start playing him this time. But the point I'm trying to make is that there's so many good options when it comes to um, Victor Osimhen being injured, and putting Raspadori at that false nine is a huge, huge. It's a huge point. I mean, well, the Italian Punk said, he doesn't know what a false nine is, Rudy Garcia, but yeah, I mean, he did start him over Simeone, so maybe he's getting a feel for what this team is, and I tell you what, it's refreshing to see other players there. And I'll read this here. Surreal Artisan says, even ADL even said the mistake Napoli made in the past was looking for the one superstar to sign and carry them, and that might be the truth. There might be a lot of truth in that. When you have 11 strong, good players playing, you know, um, and everything is clicking, it's a dangerous team, very, very much so. And again, I'm not discrediting Osimhen, and then I'm not saying I'm ready to see Osimhen go because that's not what I'm trying to say here. I think again,
I just
Osimhen's
think
a very
everybody has
important
their
player.
place, Rafa. I mean,
Everybody
like
has their place. Everybody
everybody
knows their
has their
role and
place.
knows how to play it. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. And Victor Osimhen doesn't have to play every minute of every
Mm-mm.
game. I
He
mean, even if
doesn't.
he wants to, he doesn't have to.
He
Keep the
doesn't have
guy
to.
fresh. We don't have to always play into Victor Osimhen. We have plenty of talent that can do things with the
Mhm.
ball. like I said, I think Raspadori is like our numero 10s, and I think he adds that to our team. So yeah, he can unlock a lot of potential, like Italian Punk said, and I couldn't agree more. And I said, this is the guy. I told Joe Fischetti on the Forza Napoli podcast. And by the way, good luck to you, Joe.
Yeah,
Man,
that was
man,
crazy
man,
news, man.
man,
Joe,
man,
listen,
Joe,
I
man,
feel it.
Joe,
I feel it. I
man.
feel him. I feel him. For those who don't know, who haven't heard by now, Joe Fischetti has decided to retire from um, podcasting for the time being. He may return. I have a feeling he will. He's still kind of posting on his Forza Napoli press, but as far as podcasting, he's kind of done with that. So I just want to wish him a very successful time off, rejuvenate, be with the family. I get it. Trust me,
We
totally
love you,
get
Joe.
it. But the thing he does is he does sometimes two, three shows a week, and it's a lot. It's a lot. We
Yeah,
do our one show a week, and it's enough for us, you know.
yeah,
Um, uh, I 100% get you, but we're missing your content, buddy. So,
yeah.
but thank you for everything you've done. He's had us both on the show multiple times. Um,
And even
and
been with
we've
us
had
here,
him
you know.
here. Yep. And he's a good
We'll
guy.
see him again, I'm sure. We'll see
Yeah,
him again.
listen,
Sure.
I'm sure he can make an odd appearance for us
Right,
too. Why not? You know,
right.
but
No
as far
pressure,
as the
Joe.
full
No
time
pressure. No
podcasting, yeah.
pressure if it did.
But anyway, yeah,
But yeah,
you went on Joe's show and you said it
I
yourself
said it. I was
about
like,
yeah.
Raspadori is going to be the signing. He's the going to be.
Mhm.
I had to kind of pick somebody else because everybody else
Yeah,
picked Bavard and all
yeah,
that. But I was like, you know what?
yeah,
I think it's going to be Raspa. He's going to be the dark horse here, man.
yeah,
And every time he's on the field, he just adds a little bit more extra. That creativity, his vision is great. How he distributes the ball, who tries to hit for the run, him crossing the ball,
yeah.
and even like just being at the back door waiting for an odd ball to come by so he can slip one in. He just does those things, you know.
Mhm.
And I would like somehow, some way to see more of him. I also think Simeone needs a little bit more time too, man. You
Yeah,
got to get him
for
on the
sure,
field. He's cold out there right now.
for
You
sure.
know, he could be a great weapon, especially times like this where you see Victor Osimhen him, like, you know, snagging an injury or something. Like Raspa's not going to be able to do it all. This is when you're going to have Simeone. He needs to start a game. He needs to get a whole half. He needs to get more than 10 minutes, man. He needs consistent playtime,
Right.
consistent playtime. And when he gets warm, boy, oh boy, the things that he can do, we've seen it. We need that. This is the one thing, Rafa, I just don't get about calcio, about soccer, football, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Mhm.
It's how we use the players, and I get it. Rotate substitutions are limited. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know, but you know,
Well,
if you look at past,
they were more limited
they
in
were
the
even more
past. That
limited,
you know,
right? With
there's
three,
yeah,
now we're at five, and
we're
it
at
seems like
five
we're still
now.
running into this problem. I don't, you know, I think like soccer does need some kind of evolution, man. Like it's like you know, I don't want to take the
Sub
pureness
in and
away
out.
from the game. Yeah, yeah. Why not? I mean, why not? I mean, maybe it should be quick. You know, maybe we should stop the clock. I don't even like the whole extra time thing. I think it's fucking stupid. It's arbitrary. It's dumb. People can waste time easily. I don't understand why we
Yeah.
just can't stop the clock. But I mean, but either way, man, I don't want to get into that. I don't want to open up a can of
Yeah,
worms with that.
that's a touchy
That's
subject
a
right there, man.
touchy
I
subject.
don't know.
But
I don't
Rafa,
know.
the point is, it's how we use these players. And I get that games are limited. You
Right.
know, 35. You know, it's not like we have 80 games like hockey or something like that. Baseball has like 16 million games. You know, it's you have to rotate. This one, it's so limited. You have the
Right.
Champions League. You have 38 games in a season. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
American football is even less. So,
Right.
but there has to be a formula here, man. There has to be a formula. And when you're playing 3 games a week, I just don't understand why rotation
You
shouldn't
got to
be
use your squad.
paramount, man.
You got to use your squad.
And you know, you have to be able to trust your debt. You went out, you bought the players. I
Mhm.
mean, you're putting trust in them. Figure out a way to use them because the more you use them, the better they get. It builds their confidence. They're more successful. I just want to see it.
Well, Rafi, there's nothing wrong with having a titolarissimi like you mentioned. There's nothing wrong with
No,
that.
for the
But
big
you
games,
have
yeah,
to,
for the
yeah,
big games. I was like, all right, these are
Who's your
my,
trusted
these are
11?
right,
Who's your
right.
undici leone?
Right.
Who's the
But you got to
guys?
manage around that. I mean,
Yeah,
they have the
100%.
schedules. They have the schedules. Now, granted, nobody can predict an injury, especially ones that happen in practice, in a game,
Right.
or international break or whatever. But you should have more or less a plan to say, how am I going to manage all these games? Who do I think is going to start? Who do I think is going to be better for this? And then if somebody gets injured, who do I come in? Who's going to replace that person? And when they get those miles under their legs, I just think that all of these players can be really good for us, man. I think even Zerbin, or Juan
Who
Jesus,
we've seen, yeah,
right. These guys could produce, but they need more time, man. They're sitting. I just
yeah,
don't get how like a player can just sit on the bench rotting.
right.
I don't understand how they can make careers out of this, man.
But and the time that they have to come in is not, with 5 minutes left and we need a goal to win. You know what I mean? That's not the
No,
time to put him in. I
no,
think Rui Garcia made well, okay, so let's get into that really quick because Rui Garcia did make some substitutions.
right.
He did make substitutions. He put in Gaetano and Zerbin,
Hmm.
right? Together, and they ended up like I was Gaetano and Zanoli together, and those two ended up like falling over each other. It was really embarrassing. It might have been Zerbin.
Hmm.
But Zanoli got time too. So basically, what happened was
Like by
like it
taking out
was
Mario Rui, by the way, can we rant about that for a quick
yeah.
second?
That's the thing is he takes
What's the
out Mario
business of
Rui
taking out Mario Rui and then putting Di Lorenzo to your left when
on the
Di
left.
Lorenzo plays 2 international games? He's probably, he put in his work for the week prior. Take him out. Give him a break, man. It's
Just give him a
Verona. You're
break.
up. Let
Exactly.
Zanoli play. Let him
Right.
show and let Rui stay
However,
there. We
Ralph.
probably would have sort. All right.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry
No,
to cut you off. But
no, no, no.
however,
Go ahead. It's cool. It's cool.
dude,
It's cool. It's cool.
Verona were pressing in that second half, dude.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a wrap by any means. You saw how many shots Meta had to face. That game wasn't wrapped up.
Mhm.
So that's what that's what I'm talking about. It's like I understand the logic. You want to get some of these guys off. I just saw Marie had a yellow. I understand that, fine. But you want to take some of these guys off and get some of your fringe squad players some minutes before the Champions League so that the starters can rest for Tuesday. Fine, I get that. It's a big game on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But holy moly, like the changes he made, I was like, this game is not wrapped up by any means, guys. These guys, that goal that they scored really kind of shot that momentum, and they didn't really look back. And it was pretty nervy at the end of that game. Like it was one of those games where I was very happy to win, but once the final whistle blew, usually I'll go ahead and I'll clap, I'll do a couple fist pumps, me and the kids will slap fives, and I was like, wow, okay, we
Mhm.
win that one. We kind of got away with it a little bit. And I'm not saying Verona give them a few more minutes and they're scoring on us. That's not what I'm trying to say. But what I am saying is like there's a time and a place. If it's 3-0, do it. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
it's 3-0, do it. It's 3-1 and they're pushing. Like they could easily have gotten something out of that match. So that's where I'm talking about. Like that's the problem I have with Garcia is I'm not against putting these guys in every now and then. I'm
Mhm.
just against his timing and his decision. Like it's funny because Spalletti made changes sometimes a little too late. Gattuso made changes sometimes a little too late. Like I would have problems with managers not making a change and it's like the 75th minute. We need some fresh legs out there.
Right. Right.
That's a problem I would have with them. But what I have with Garcia is the moves he makes at the times he make them situation wise.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I'm sorry, but Zerbin and Zanoli and moving Di Lorenzo and like somewhat experimenting, is not good for me. It's not.
Yeah.
So, but it was refreshing to see these guys on. Again,
Sure.
they're on the team. Use them.
Yeah, no, use them. Yeah, I like that he's using Gaetano, and for all the audio listeners, the people on the replay, please put in the comments. Let us know, what do you think, man? We do respond to you guys all the time.
Yeah.
What do you think? Who do you want to start? Who do you want to see more? How do you want to see your rotation? What tactic can Garcia do that you would like to see more? And all these things. Let us know. And if not, come
Tweet
into the
us,
Discord.
or X
Tweet
us,
us.
whatever it
Come
is.
into the
The
Discord.
Discord. Yeah. Hit us up on Instagram, stuff like that. Definitely let us know what you think.
But guys, let's do our beast in the match, guys. I want to know, me and Rafa went back and forth a little bit, but I was talking to a few people in the Discord. Let's get it out in the chat. And again, if you're on the replay at audio, put who you thought your beast was for this game. I really wanted to pick this one. I really wanted to pick this one. And I see you guys. We want to talk about in the 10. We will. We're gonna discuss it. I already see a few calls out there. Cayuste, Raspa. He was all over the place. Man, we're gonna start some controversy today, huh?
I think so.
It's
I
like
think
you
so,
can
but
never
you know what?
really guess who the beast is. You can never really guess who the beast is.
I think it's a controversial pick, but at the same time, I'm not against it, and that's why I went with it.
Cool. I'm glad. Thank you for your.
We'll talk. Listen, I've picked the last couple, but when it makes sense, it makes sense. So this time, yours made a lot of sense. So let's go with it.
So let me see who Cayuste, Moret. Let me see Cavada. All right, okay. You know what? Let's not delay, guys. Beast of the match: Napoli versus Hellas Verona. Here we go. Yes, some of you guessed it. Alex Moret. Italian Punk. Moret finally came to play after like 3 years.
Alex Moret, beast of the match.
Beast of the match. See, Rafa almost gave it away. Almost gave it away, man. We gave
I kind of gave it away with the kit I'm wearing. You guys should know by now. There's a reason why I wear some of the stuff that I wear. You know what I mean? Danny Ruggiero hates it. Guys.
This, man.
Nah. Wow, there's a lot of booing. Wow, man, we're gonna lose viewers now.
We're gonna lose viewers. Please don't. Wow, we lost one.
Guys. We did, didn't we? No.
Fuck y'all. It's my show.
Come on, man. Why? Okay, Ralph, it's your beast. Explain.
Listen, guys. If you saw the beginning of the game and towards the end of it, first of all, you know how hard it is for a goalie to get beast in the match? It's super, super, super difficult. If they get one in the season, it's like a miracle because there's just so many people doing things on the field. Listen, guys. Moret made some. I always said Moret, he just did what a keeper is supposed to do.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Yeah. But you got to understand what he did kept us in the game. Hellas Verona did a hell of a job pressing at us, man. In the beginning, Moret came up with some big reactionary saves in minute 1, and then towards the end came up, with shots that he was, tough to see, low bouncing shots that he needed quick reactionary shape. This game could have turned out to be a draw very easily. They slipped through the cracks. They were pressing hard, and Alex Moret had to do his job. All right, when everybody else didn't. When Verona was slipping through the cracks and getting to our box, Moret saved the day. And
I have a problem. I'm sorry. I have a problem with Simone Polisano said over there. I have a problem with that a little bit. Just because he did what he's supposed to do doesn't mean it wasn't any less difficult. Like sometimes these shots keepers take. See, I think keepers get a really bad rap, man. Like when a goal goes in, it's their fault, and when they save it, that's what they're supposed to do. Like guys, okay, 1 or 2 times, okay. He made 5 saves, 5 in the second half alone, just to keep Napoli in the game.
Yeah.
Ciao, Luca.
Important
Just to
saves.
keep Napoli in the game. Important saves. Like why not give him beast? Especially after, the blunders that he's had. He had a couple of I wouldn't say couple of blunders. Some balls he's slow to get to. Some, the Real Madrid goal, the Fiorentina. There were a couple Fiorentina goals that I think he could have done a little better at. And the game was really on the line when Verona was pressing, and they were getting through the defense. And Meret took the job and said, "Yeah, I got this, guys. We're good. I got it." I'm sorry, Ralph, for cutting you off, but I just think
No,
that quote from Simone, and nothing against you, buddy. You have your opinion, but
no,
but it sometimes gets to a keeper, where their confidence is gone, and you need a performance like this to up the confidence, especially before the Champions League. Like, I think he did a fantastic job, and I think it warrants the beast.
I agree. It's like I said, there were some great playing. There was some great ball playing out there, but so many times I just watch Verona get the ball back,
Mhm.
run at our defense. Rahmani, him coming back off an injury was a little shaky.
A little bit.
All right. Meret had to make those big saves, man. And they seem easy, but believe me, they're not easy, man. You got to understand, not giving the other team the moment. They were at home. It was a very hostile environment.
Hostile,
In a
very hostile.
very
Yeah.
hostile environment. Meret has to stay back there hearing these things. He had to be on his P's and Q's. He had to be on point, Meret, for this game. There was no slipping up. There was no slipping up because Verona would have made us pay. They would have came back. They would have came back.
Dude,
We would
one
have
of those
tied
five.
or lost
Yeah,
this game
exactly.
very easily if Meret
Just gonna
didn't make
say
those
that.
big reactionary saves.
One of those five saves in the second half goes in, you got a different ball game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, well, Simona, listen, that's okay. We're not here to convince you. We're here to debate, right? So if you've got a difference of opinion, that's good. That's good. We like that. But my pick was Cayuste. My
Yeah.
pick was Cayuste. Cayuste came on in the Anguissa role, and like I said, was forward a lot, won the ball a lot, made a lot of smart plays, took a few shots, almost scored a freaking fourth. Uh, you know, um, I think Cayuste did a fantastic job, and that was my pick. So Ralph and I went back and forth, and I agree with Ralph when it comes to Mehmet, but honorable mention to Cayuste, absolutely beast worthy match.
Yes, guys. Thank you for that. Put again, who was your beast? Let us know in the comments for everybody on the replay and on the audio. What do you think of ours? What do you think of Meret? Moving forward, let us know. But before we move on,
The Napoli Rant is brought to you in part by Napoli Club Toronto.
so let's move on. Do you want to go to the ADL?
Yeah, let's talk about ADL. Why not?
So bingo bango. Everyone hates ADL. This is the name of our segment. Um, here we go again. But Rafa, like, we don't really. So ADL kind of gets into some shit, right? There's some things with the team, there's some things with the coach, but the big one again is going to be with international duty and these TV rights, right? And he has a point, does he? Because it seems as if the person, the most righteous like, we know ADL rants a lot, and he could go off on tangents sometimes, and half of the shit that can come out of his mouth can really annoy people, and I get it, but sometimes he's right, and I think we need to listen, Rafa. So where do we start? Do you want to start on? Let's start on the Nations League, because the name of the show is Victorless Victory, and part of the reason is because Ozil snagged an injury, didn't he?
Yeah.
So
It was
take
it
it
was
away, Rafa.
actually I want to say it wasn't a Nations League game, dude. It was a meaningless friendly. And that is where that is where what ADL says makes a little bit of sense. Okay. So Victor Osimhen goes away for Nigeria, plays in a friendly against Saudi Arabia. Right? They've already qualified for AFCON. I don't think they were playing in any sort of qualification games. He gets selected for Nigeria, obviously. And so apparently there was a sort of underlying issue with Osimhen, a little bit of a knock. Could have sat, could have played a lot less. Instead, the manager for Nigeria decides to play Victor Osimhen 60 minutes in, still 0-0 against Saudi Arabia, Mancini, Saudi Arabia, by the way. And he takes a seat on the pitch and says, I'm done, takes his stuff off, takes everything off, and goes, I'm done. What happened? Pulls a hamstring, out 6 to 8 weeks, whatever it is, right? No good. No good.
No
Why
bueno.
is he playing? Why is he playing in a meaningless friendly against Saudi Arabia? Why? Why? And I get it. You might want to play your stars. You might want to do that. But also, the condition of the pitch was 1980s Maradona condition. Like, what is going on here? You know what I mean? Pitch was awful. He had an underlying issue. What's the point in playing Osimhen for 60 minutes? Why can't he take him out at halftime? Why can't he put him in with 30 minutes left? What is the need to play him so many minutes in a friendly? So ADL comes out, hits out on, the Nigerian boss, the fact that the players have to leave for AFCON, it's another issue again. But he actually this time said, I understand players want to go play for their country. I get the passion. I get it. I'm a fan of it, blah, 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 right? But there should be a possibility to put something in a contract that states if my player gets injured on duty, we are owed some sort of compensation. Because everybody wants to go crazy on ADL when he says things like this, but they don't run a business. They don't run a football team. They don't run I remember somebody said something about how these guys are not I forgot the term he used, but basically saying they're not like slaves for the team ownership, right?
Right.
They're not owners don't own them. They own a contract that has the right to play them, that they don't own them. Of course they don't own them. Of course they're not that. But that is an investment that he has made for his brand, not just on the pitch, off the pitch. Not just for, a season, for multiple seasons. This is a player who is world renowned at this point, who has a lot riding on, the season. And he gets injured in this type of game. Now, if it were, I'm sure ADL would have been as pissed if it were a, qualifier or a tournament, right? You're still going to lose your investment. You still should have some sort of backup. But he understands at least, okay, something's on the line. I'm going to give it my all. I don't think Osimhen should be getting injured in a friendly against Saudi Arabia. Now, again, injuries happen. I get it. But especially when you have something underlying, or, the manager needs to be a little smarter. The national team managers here. I think Roberto Martinez, the manager for who does he manage now? I forgot who he manages. Is it Portugal? Yeah, the Portuguese manager. They had a friendly after they qualified in their first game, and he played almost the whole team as well. And I think one of their players ended up getting injured. So it's like, why? What are you doing that for? You bring so many players just for what? Look at Spalletti. Played a whole different team against Malta that he played against England. Should it have been reversed? Possibly. Should it have been a mix of different players? Maybe. But at least he utilized the team he brought, right? So it baffles my mind how people are against what ADL says when it comes to that, because now your team has lost its player for nothing.
Right.
Nothing. He's going to be out till Thanksgiving time, and then he's gone in January for AFCON. So it's like we're losing him twice this season.
Yeah, a few months. And he said that. But I think, in a time where transfer fees and salaries are this high, and you're right, they can just go away, get injured, and basically because it's not just, we're paying them to sit at home. They're also they're a crucial part of the team. And now they're not playing. We risk dropping points, not scoring goals, certain accomplishments, and the team takes all the risk. I'm sorry, but if you know anything about business, if you're taking a risk, you should have some type of reward, or at the very least, that risk could be hedged. I mean, come on,
Here's
guys.
my question. Let me
ADL is
ask you
right.
this.
And the
Let me
old
ask you.
way, and I think there's a lot of lobbying for the old way because, come on, FIFA, UEFA, these guys get all the benefits without
There's no
having
compensation. There's
without
no
having to cover
compensation.
anybody, man. Like that's
And,
wrong.
and what should happen,
They're not
Ralph?
going to
Should
want to
there
have to
be
pay out. They're going to lose a
no?
lot of money if they have to start paying out. Of course, they're going to lobby. You know, of course, they're going to lobby against ADL, man. And I think this
Right.
is what's going on.
Well, so here's my question: what happens? Is there some
No,
sort of an
top. Ozzy is not getting sold in January.
No,
Stop
absolutely
this.
not.
Stop. I love you, Joe, but stop
Absolutely
this.
not.
Nobody is getting. We don't sell our star players in January.
No.
We don't even buy. We don't do anything in January.
It's
We
not
do it, like,
happening.
it's not happening. Nobody's going to
It's
pay.
not happening.
We're turning down $150 million offers. We're not selling Ozzy.
Don't listen to those rumors, guys. Please, these English Premier League rumors. Oh, Chelsea's going after Osimhen in January. It's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. We don't change our method of transfer to accommodate a team. The only way he goes if he demands a transfer in January, which he's not going to do. He's not going to do that. So it's not going to happen. Promise you guys. Victor Osimhen will be on this team at least until June. He may very well go in the summer. But here's the thing. Everybody it's not that's not new news. That's old news, man. If you didn't have an idea that Osimhen was going to leave soon, then you're crazy, Pazzo, because he's going to leave at some point. But Napoli don't get rid of their key star marquee players in January.
It's not happening, guys.
It's not happening, guys.
We don't sell.
We don't need to sell.
We don't need to sell anything.
Listen, this is the thing, okay? These teams that sell in January need to make a sale. We don't need to sell anybody. It's not gonna happen, guys. Who's gonna go in January? Maybe Zerbin, maybe Demme, maybe we get rid of little fringe players that don't really impact the team. When was the last time a big name player left in the middle of the season? I can't figure it out. Paulo Cannavaro, Marek Hamsik. I mean, but these guys were past it. They were past it. It's not happening, guys. I'm telling you, I love everybody here, but you've got to stop listening to these transfer. I'm telling you, the transfer stuff gets hits. That's the thing, Ralph. We missed our calling. We should just be transfer rant. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because when we're everybody looks at the transfers. Transfer. It's become this all-consuming aspect of this game, and it's really annoying at this point because it's all rumor and bullshit until you get closer to the window. You know what I mean? But even then, it's all almost rumor and bullshit.
Right.
You guys have to please go back and follow how we do business. Follow it. Go back and study it. How we do our business, right?
I mean, not only that, you don't sell your Premier player in January.
No.
It doesn't happen. It's rare. I mean, it could happen, but it's very rare. Obviously,
anything can happen. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't happen for us. It's not going to happen for us. Yeah. There's no need to do it.
And there's got to be stupid amount of money on the table. I mean, stupid amount of money on the table.
Let me ask you this:
Osimhen's gonna go. If Osimhen gets sold in January. I mean,
it's to Saudi Arabia for $250 million.
Right, exactly. We have enough money to build a new stadium with it.
It's not to Chelsea for $100 million.
No way.
That's for damn sure. And that's another thing. If Osimhen is gonna leave in the middle of a season, it better be for a Champions League team. Because he's not going to leave Napoli, who's going to qualify for the next round of the Champions League, to go play in no Europe at all. and try to play catch up in England. Not happening, guys. Not happening. Telling you right now.
Yeah. You guys are funny. Yeah. And he's a good point. He's also an AFCON in January. Nobody's going to take that risk, man.
Yeah.
He's gone 100.
Yeah, he's in AFCON throughout the whole transfer window. In June, Pasquale Caranante, he's gone 130, 150 mil. In June, in the summer, sure, 100%. Okay, but Surreal Artisan says if he holds on to Osimhen, we're going to lose money till 2025. In the summer, he'll go.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee it. I thought he was going to leave after this past year.
And to be honest, like everybody's expendable in the summer. Sure. Anybody can go
in the summertime because that's the thing, Ralph, right? You have to now listen, and I get it. Simeone is doing good. Raspadori's the revelation, what have you. But ADL is not the type of player or not the type of owner that is going to sell his, let's face it, MVP player, capocannoniere from last season, Scudetto winner, top player, and not replace him. And again, in January, teams don't let their players go, man. Like we got a season to finish. That's not happening.
Yeah. He won't even change his
Surreal.
coach
You're
right
surreal. Now. In June, yes. In June, almost guaranteed. Listen, I would have told you, I would argue, I thought he was gone to Bayern Munich this past summer. Bayern Munich needed a striker. They went with Kane. I thought it was going to be Osimhen. I thought he was going to go. Manchester United were pushing too. I thought he was going to go in the summer, but not in January. Not happening. Not happening.
The coach. I know. you're probably joking about that, but don't forget, ADL fired the director of social media.
What did that say? I'm sorry. What was that?
He got into a fight because ADL personally posted it. That's a joke. I know that's funny, but we all know. Like and guys, like even with the whole coach thing and I you know what, guys, I'll be honest, I don't take the labels off. I keep them on. I'm like,
bro, I was hold on. I hide them every single time. Every single shirt has the tags on it.
Let's leave them out a little bit, Rafa. Let's just leave the labels out.
Well,
like
I want to make sure people know it's actually authentic. There's a lot of bootlegs out there.
Let your labels
circulating.
Hang. Let your labels hang, bro.
A lot of bootlegs out there.
Let that drip label hang, guys.
We don't do bootleg on this show, do we, Ralph?
Nah, we don't do bootleg.
I think I've worn one bootleg. But we'll tell you. Yeah, this ain't no booty. This ain't no booty.
This is the real deal.
This ain't no
and
booty.
By the way, man, I'm hating on DHL. They do a good job. If they're late to you, that's a problem with your local DHL office.
Yeah,
man.
That's true.
I got my shit in like 6 days, guys.
Bro, I got the Halloween kit in 6 days, and I still haven't even picked it up from my mailbox.
They're moving.
Yeah, they're moving. They do owe me a package that hasn't come since July, so I'm a little pissed about that. But other than that, everything has been moving very, very much. Oh, did you see that they also unveiled the black Champions League kit too? I don't know if you saw that, Ralph. The black kit is available for Champions League now as well. I guess they're gonna play. I guess they're gonna.
There goes another $180.
Well, hey, listen, this is the price we pay, right? That's what they're wearing tomorrow, I think.
By the way, guys, I got the Champions League all white, no upbit, no Vesuvio, clean as a motherfucker.
Clean, bro. One of the best kits.
So
listen, Napoli kits did it this
year. Man, with the red and white green collars. I was gonna get the white kit regardless because I love the trim, but this. Remember how I said this is gorgeous.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
Yeah, surprisingly. You weren't a big fan of the Vesuvio imprinted on the kit, which I am. I'm a fan of it, but I like the Champions League white much better. Much better. But yeah, they made the black Champions League kit, and I'm probably going to have to bag that.
I'm going to put some closing music on, Rafa.
Do it.
Maybe we'll get your Guys, what do you think about Union Berlin? How do you think we're going to fare out? Let's get it in the chat.
I'll tell you what, Rafi. Yeah, get it Forza Napoli sempre. Thank you, everybody, again for watching, listening. Far from Vesuvius, YouTube, all that stuff. Want to say hey to everybody, all my friends in the WhatsApp chats and my friends in the Discord, on X, on Instagram. You guys keep sending me messages. I get a lot of DMs lately too. Really cool. Big game tomorrow is right, Joseph. We have Union Berlin in the Champions League. It's in Berlin. Bonucci is their defender back there. I'm sure he has a lot to tell them about us. We return to the stadium that Italy won the 2006 World Cup in. That's going to be really cool. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Because Union Berlin have some really big time players. The thing is they currently sit
They're in
16th.
Very poor form.
Yeah, they sit 16th in the Bundesliga. I think they only got 2 wins and like 5 or 6 losses. They lost 3-0 at home this past week to, I think it was to, was it Wolfsburg? It might have been. I don't remember exactly who it was. But the point is they lost 3-0. And yeah, so it's sort of a must-win after the win against Braga and the loss against Madrid. We need 2 good games against Berlin here. So I actually predict the same exact lineup, man. Like, maybe Simeone starts. But I think I predict the same lineup from the game against Verona. Don't forget, we have a huge game against Milan Sunday at 2:45 Eastern. Big time clash against Milan as well, because they're going to be missing. Who was it that got the red card yesterday? That's escaping me. Not Tomori, but the other one. Malik Chow. Malik Chow got a red, so he's out. Magnan will be back. Mirante did pretty good for them. Juve wins 1-0, but look at the top of the table there, man. Fiorentina lost to Empoli today, which is nuts. They beat us. They look like Barcelona when they beat us, but then Empoli beats them the next week in Firenze, which is just incredible to me. But the table is Inter in first with 22, Milan with 21, Juve with 20, and then us and Fiorentina tied with 17, and then Atalanta with 16. So top 6 is only separated by 6 points. And it's crazy times in Serie A. You know, a win against Milan will put us right back up there. Big time players. We can get it done. They play against PSG this week, Milan. So they've got it tough. They've got it tough too. And I believe, Rafi boy, are we going to that, or is that up in the air still? Napoli against Milan Sunday. What's going on at the Niz establishment? I'm not at Niz's. Maybe we can post some information. Yeah. Stay tuned for that, guys. I do know that there's a. Keep an ear out for Joe Fischetti's new transfer speculation podcast.
News to me. Okay.
That's news to me. I thought he was out of the game, but thank you for that. Yeah, I think we're doing. I think Tri-State might be doing something at Niz's. There's a bunch of clubs doing their thing, and find one, get there, watch, support. I know we don't have a good history with Napoli Milan games at all.
No, we don't.
But I have a feeling about this one, Ralphie boy. I think we're going to be okay against Milan. But big games coming up, man. Big games.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, guys, thank you to everybody in the chat as well as the audio listeners. Again, put your comments. Tell us what you feel. Tell us what you think. Oh, jokes. Damn it, Daniel. You got us. Don't joke around about Joe Fischetti, bro. All right? You might have problems. But But
Guys.
yeah, thank you to anybody. Rafa, wonderful show as always.
Same to
We'll
you.
see
Thank you. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you for Napoli tomorrow, guys. Again, come in the Discord on the game thread. You know, I'll be there tomorrow. Come in, we'll talk, we'll rant. Maybe we'll do something cool during halftime. But until then, Forza Napoli sempre.
Campioni d'Italia.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.